Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Two Dudes and a NES. I am Michael, and my co-host with me today is not someone unusual. It's someone you're used to. His name is Justin. Say hello, Justin.
Hello, everyone.
All right, and today we are talking about Duck Hunt. But not only Duck Hunt, but we're also talking about the Zapper. And we've got a little bit of a new thing we're trying. And I think it's going to work, but we're going to try some segments. And at first, the segments, especially on this episode, are going to be really awkward because I'm going to jump to them by saying, hey, here comes the next segment, and it's called this. Just to kind of get everybody in the mood and feeling it a little bit. So here comes the next segment, and it's called Justin's Historical Tidbits and Trivia. So, Justin, give us some historical tidbits and trivia.
All right. I'm going to throw this out there. If I sound more nasally than usual, I have been kind of getting over a cold, so you're going to have to deal with that. Duck Hunt. So Duck Hunt, probably everybody who's ever played a Nintendo Entertainment System has played Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is actually developed, it was based on a 1976 electronic toy version titled... Okay.
Oh yeah, I brought a duck with me.
Yeah.
I mean, we needed a guest. I didn't really know what to do for Duck Hunt, so he's just sitting next to me. It's cool. He may quack.
Well, yeah. Well, it's fine. I know Elmer Fudd had some prior games.
Yeah, we did try to get Elmer Fudd, but
something about chasing a rabbit. I don't know.
Right. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, okay. So Duck Hunt, based on a 1976 electronic toy version titled Beam Gun Duck Hunt, which was part of the Beam Gun series. But this couple guys named Gunpei Yokoi and Masayuki Umera, I'm probably
just roll with it.
Yeah. Developed the game for Nintendo. So the Nintendo R&D department developed Duck Hunt as well as developed the NES Zapper at the same time. So, because you had to have the Zapper to play Duck Hunt.
Nintendo, actually, I may not be 100% sure on this, but I think Nintendo got their start sort of as a beam gun developer or something. Didn't they have beam gun toys before they ever even had Nintendo?
Yeah, they did, and it was the beam gun was created. Now we're talking about the Zapper. It was released for the Famicom February 18th, 1984, and then 1985 in North America. So it was like an early on thing. So yeah, they had it ready and waiting in the wings to come out. But anyway, so Duck Hunt, created by these two guys, and the music, actually, and not a lot of people think about Duck Hunt for the music, but Hirozaku Tanaka, who was actually a pretty famous composer and musician in Japan, and he did several scores for Nintendo games. Probably a lot of the power nerds out there that like NES probably know who this guy is. He had created the music for, just to name a few, Donkey Kong 2 and 3. He did the music for Duck Hunt, Balloon Fight. He did the music for Metroid, Kid Icarus, and then he went on to Tetris, the North American version, Dr. Mario, and Super Mario Land on the SNES. So, a pretty famous composer.
Sounds like he did
the music.
He sounds like he did a pretty good chunk of all the original releases on Nintendo.
Yeah. And, but like I said, it's kind of weird because you don't really think about Duck Hunt for its music.
Oh, I like the music.
Yeah. But it's really just not, it's not like last week where we talked about Final Fantasy, where the music was a huge part of the game. And
yeah, there may not be music underneath this right now. I don't know. Unless you just want to hear that song over and over again from Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
That little 10-second song over and over.
Yeah. Oddly enough, the the game's music was represented in Classic Games Medley on the Video Games Live Concert Tour. If anybody's familiar with that concert tour.
I am not.
I am not either, but apparently they played the Duck Hunt theme. So, and the designer Hiroji Kayotaki created the graphics and the characters for the game. So he's the guy that's responsible for the jerk of a dog.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt you again, but I think we're going to have to send you to like Japanese lessons.
Yeah, probably. I need to find somebody that's Japanese. Any of our listeners out there that's Japanese want to give me some pointers, feel free. So obviously, one of the biggest things about Duck Hunt and why it's such a legacy among Nintendo games is it came out as a combo cart with Super Mario Brothers, which is the game for, Nintendo. You think Nintendo, you think Super Mario Brothers. And because it was packaged with Super Mario Brothers, a lot of it was pack-ins with the Nintendo Entertainment System. And back then, if a lot of people will probably remember this, when you bought a Nintendo, everything that you would need for the Nintendo came with it. And today, it's just that's out of the question. You don't get anything anymore when you buy a video game system. You have to buy all the accessories, like RF adapters. The Zapper even came with the Nintendo. Like when I got my Nintendo, it came with the Zapper. It came with the pack-in game Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. So that's one of the ways that it became famous. It eventually became a 3-in-1 cartridge with Super Mario Brothers and World Class Track Meets.
Yeah, that's when they started packing in the Power Pad too with the system.
Yeah, the Power Pad as well. Right. To talk a little bit about the Zapper's famous. Not so much for a lot of the other games that it was used for. I don't know. A lot of people probably weren't familiar with a lot of the other games. But it's outside of Duck Hunt. Like I know, I didn't really play any of the other games with the Zapper. But the Zapper always amazed me as a kid, and even still today, that it was kind of ahead of its time for what it did. You know how the Zapper works?
Yeah, actually, and I posted a video on our Facebook page if anybody wants to look at it. But it's really interesting because basically it reads light coming into the Zapper. Right. So when you press the gun trigger, the screen goes black everywhere except for what you're supposed to be shooting. And so the Zapper sees the white block of what you're supposed to be shooting, and if it can see it, that means you hit it. If it can't see it, that means you miss. That's the dumb version. I mean, it's probably more technical than that, but
oh yeah, but that's how I would explain it. So, which is pretty innovative if you think. But the Zapper is truly a retro attachment. You know why?
Because new TVs won't work.
Right. It will not work on LCDs or plasmas or any kind of new TVs. So
now, did you figure out why that is? Because that's something I didn't look up.
Yeah, it's it won't work because there's a lag time between when the screen goes off and comes back on. Actually, the old CRT displays are quicker. So if you have if, for example, just to do a little experiment, if you have an old school TV in your house and a new LCD TV, if you flip through the channels on the old school TV, it's super quick. I mean, it comes up just as soon as you're hit. Now, if you notice on the LCD, there's a little bit of lag time. Because of that lag time, the
Zapper doesn't register.
Zapper, it's too slow for it.
I got you.
So this new technology is just too slow for the Zapper, man. The Zapper's got to be quick.
Yeah, Zapper's like, dang, TV, speed it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, do you remember? Well, we'll talk about that later. But just to throw in a little bit more about the game to end it. It was a famous game. Several user groups on OneUp.com gave it 8.7 out of 10. GameSpot community gave it. Now this is kind of a loaded rating because it was rated with the Mario Duck Hunt package, a 9.1 out of 10, and Nintendo Power rated it 150th on their top 200 games list. Okay.
Is that distracting? Do you want me to get him out of here?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. So, yeah.
Oh.
So that's pretty much it as far as history and the game. So, anyway, so let's go to our next segment.
Nice.
Michael's, nice segue.
Now that one is for Rob McCallum.
See how that segue worked out?
That's for Rob. Yeah, that is for Rob. So let's go to our next segue into our next segment,
which is called
Michael's Quest. Michael's Quest to find the cart.
Yes. This is my segment. I'm happy. Basically, we may not have mentioned it on the show, I don't know, but I'm trying to find the card each time we play the game. So sometimes this segment may be very simple, as in I've had it forever. But for this game, I have had it forever because I've had the combo. But I decided to see if I could find just the Duck Hunt cart by itself, because they did sell the Duck Hunt cart by itself. Mm-hmm. So I swung by Level Up Games here in Knoxville, and lo and behold, they had the cart by itself, and it wasn't very expensive, so I picked it up, and there we have it. That's a pretty simple Michael's Quest to find the game, because I guess it's a very common game, but I now have the Duck Hunt cart by itself.
Awesome. So, those in the Knoxville area, where's that place at, just in case anybody wants to check it out?
That is right next to Battlefield Knoxville.
Okay.
If you know where that is, laser tag.
That shows how old I am. I have no idea where that is.
Okay, that is close. I don't know. It's close to Home Depot there at around Cedar Bluff area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
So you did find the card.
Yeah. So next segment, let's talk about the game.
Okay. Yeah. So when I played the game as a child, I was, well, let's be honest, I cheated. I'd like to stand, right next to the screen.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Shoot ducks.
Sounds like you. Hey, did you know you...
How dare you?
Did you know you can also... This is a big-time cheat that I just learned about not too long ago. Did you know you can also use a magnifying glass?
No.
And it, if you use it right in front of your gun, it magnifies the white part of the screen. You know, that when it flashes, and the gun never misses.
Oh, wow.
So
that's not even fun.
No, it's not.
At least when you're standing next to the screen, you gotta at least move.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the game. Let's be honest, the game's really not that hard, anyways. I mean, the difficulty level just depends on how far you sit from the screen, and the cord's only so long that the gun won't even go but maybe 5 or 6 feet. So it's not a terribly difficult game. But as a kid, I may have cheated a little bit too.
Actually, the more difficult version of the game was version B, where I think it's version B, right? Where you did the clay shooting.
Let's see. B would be 2 ducks. There's A, B, and C. Yeah. Okay, A's 1 duck, B's 2 ducks, and C's clay shooting. Yeah. But yeah, clay shooting was actually pretty difficult. When I was playing it this past week, I played game A, which is 1 duck, and got really bored because I never missed. Then I played version B, and it was a little bit better. I like shooting. The 2 ducks was pretty fun. I sat probably, I don't know, the way my room is set up for playing games, I can't really sit that far away, but I sat maybe 3 or 4 feet away. And it wasn't that hard, the 2 ducks. But the clay shooting was actually pretty tricky. I actually lost at clay shooting. So
when I was a kid.
Yeah, I probably prefer the clay shooting over all of them.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to think those were UFOs you were shooting. I didn't understand the plays.
Actually, I like that better.
Yeah. Shooting UFOs.
Yeah.
Disintegrate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, but as a kid, I probably cheated a little bit, but I don't know. I didn't play this game much as a kid. I had another Zapper game as a kid, which was better. Hogan's Alley for anybody out there. We'll talk about that game one day, but
yeah,
I preferred that game. So anytime I played Zapper, I usually skipped over Duck Hunt and played that game.
Well, let me ask you this. This is kind of going to go off topic, but I have a bone to pick with you. On Facebook, the Mario and Luigi picture. Okay, I don't know whether to laugh or be offended. Who am I?
Well, I made myself Mario this morning.
Okay.
And you're Luigi.
Okay.
And the only reason I made myself Mario and you're Luigi is because years ago on Halloween when you and I dressed up as Mario and Luigi, I just thought it was a funny picture.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Are you offended now that you're Luigi? Would you rather be Mario?
No.
You're carrying me around. I'm pointing.
Yeah. I thought, yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Move on.
Let's talk about the graphics. What do you think about the graphics? It's pretty, bland. I mean, it's really colorful and it looks good, but it's just kind of the same screen the whole time.
I think that Duck Hunt represents what the early games in Nintendo kind of were. And that was just basic, this is, outside of Atari, which, sorry, Atari man, pretty much sucks.
Good thing he probably doesn't listen to this show.
But, so it was like, we can just kind of just show some pretty colors and everybody's just going to eat it up. And people did. I mean,
Well, it was very
cool
early arcade style, where it's like one screen and you're doing one thing.
Right. It's not like what we talked about last week, Final Fantasy, which would take you hours to complete the game.
Right.
Duck Hunt was something you sat down, you played, real quick. Didn't take a whole day, And it was kind of a community game too. You could sit around with your friends and see how many ducks you could get.
You can actually play 2-player. Did you know that?
Right. Yeah.
The second player can move the ducks. He controls the ducks, which is kind of pointless, but you can do it.
Yeah. But so and I think that's kind of what the early games of Nintendo kind of were, is but didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. They didn't have time, I think, to develop the games as much to think, well, wow, let's make it even harder and harder. And they just kind of threw it together, put it out there, and people loved it. And still love it today. I mean, I still like the game, even though it's pretty easy comparably to the old other games.
It's a fun waste of about 5 or 10 minutes. I couldn't sit and play it for 45 minutes to an hour without just wanting to turn the zapper on myself, but it's fun for short periods of time if you just want to stick something in and shoot ducks.
Speaking of turn the zapper on yourself, I hope everybody that's listening went on our Facebook page and saw the Famicom's version of the zapper.
Yeah, that's intense.
It looks like a Colt revolver. That's like, okay, kids, here you go. Here's your own gun. At least the zapper's like toyish, it's kind of futuristic, I guess. But,
well, I guess, and this is a good spot to talk about, the zapper actually came in 2 colors because at some point they decided that the gray one was just way too realistic.
Yeah, because there's so many guns that look like that.
Yeah. So they decided that, and it's so iconic too. Most people would be like, "Oh, that's a Nintendo gun," but anyways, they decided that no, it needs to be orange, bright, ugly orange.
Yeah,
but
as much as I like orange is probably my favorite color. I like the gray, the old school, and that's the color zapper that I have.
Same here. I've actually got both zappers, but I prefer the gray one. And orange is my favorite color too. In case the listeners out there don't know, go UT Vols.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I also like the sound the zapper made.
That's like the best part.
Chink, 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 chink.
Yeah. I wonder if they designed that. I mean, I know what it is. It's a spring, right?
Right.
And then you press it in, you can hear the spring going in, and then the spring releases, and that's the sound you get. But I wonder if they, they probably tweaked it just a little bit to get just that perfect click and slingy spring noise.
I wonder what the Famicom gun probably made a real gun sound.
Yeah. It probably shot bullets.
It probably that's what I was about to say. It probably just shot bullets. You could take it. You could actually. It did 2 things. You could use it on your television. Okay, Duck.
But he thought that was funny.
Oh, okay. But you could actually use it as a light gun, or you could just take it out back, put some bullets in it, and shoot something.
Yep.
Very practical.
Those crazy Famicom people.
Yeah. So.
We talked about the music a little bit, so we don't really need to talk about the music. But I did like the music. It's very catchy. It does stick in my head.
Mm-hmm. Catchy.
It's really short. You
definitely.
get like when you turn the game on, you get like a 5-second song, and then you play the game. When you first start, you get like a little jingle, and when you shoot both ducks, you get a little jingle. And I noticed that when I was playing it, that if you could shoot the ducks like rhythmically, and like it's almost like your click. If you did it if you shot the duck at the same time every time, so you would shoot the duck, it'd be like click, duck would die, dog would come up, make a noise, and then play a little jingle or whatever, and it's like very rhythmic. If you could get in like a groove while you were doing it, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. You know what? I would also try to do this, and it would make me so angry. Is I'd try to toy with the duck, let it fly around for a minute, and then shoot it. Like I guess think, I'm gonna let him think he's getting away.
Yeah.
And
It's not very nice.
but then he would get away. And I'd get so angry because I let one get away.
Well, you want
Get
that
the
perfect
pink-
score,
Yeah. The pink screen. Oh man, it would make me angry.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of the ducks getting away, this is kind of a tangent, going off on a tangent, but you get lives, right? But they're not called lives. It's got an R. You get R that equals 2, which is, I guess, is rest, right? Because a lot of games have what's called rests.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just like a weird translation that made it over to America? What does rest mean as far as lives are concerned?
I don't know. But lives don't really make sense either when it comes to duck hunting.
Right,
It's
because
like,
you're taking lives.
Did the duck kill you?
Yeah.
It's not like, somebody, it's not like somebody goes duck hunting and they don't return because the duck killed them. It's not tit for tat. You're killing the duck. Although my great-grandfather went that way. He went duck hunting. Duck got him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Duck got him. Duck got the best of him. Duck got the best. But you don't.
Those dang ducks.
So, yeah.
That's not funny.
Yeah. But, no, really. It's like, I don't think that lives would, but rest doesn't make sense either. I would just say turns.
Turns,
Bullets.
yeah. 3 well, it shows bullets and rests.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I think that's enough game discussion. The next segment is trophies. We're going to try to make up our own trophies for this game because trophies and achievements are all the rage nowadays. So we're going to make up our own trophies, just a couple apiece maybe, for Duck Hunt. Things that if you had it on the PlayStation Network, then you would earn these trophies. So I'll start. I've got a trophy called Doggone Frustrated. And to earn Doggone Frustrated, you have to try and shoot the dog 100 times. So all you got to do is just try and shoot the dog. You can't, obviously.
Yeah.
On the Nintendo version, but actually there's an arcade version called Versus Duck Hunt where you can shoot the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes out with on a crutch and waving his other crutch at you angrily. Like, why would you shoot me?
Yeah.
Oh, and another tangent real quick. Sorry to go off all these tangents, but the Versus series of games, which were arcade games, you know how they made those?
How?
They took the Donkey Kong cabinet, and I may be wrong about this. This is just something I heard. I may be wrong. Somebody's gonna call in and just be very angry with me. But I think this is true. They took all the old Donkey Kong cabinets and they sent people these kits that they could convert the Donkey Kong cabinet into another game. So that was for their Versus series. So they could convert a Donkey Kong cabinet into a Duck Hunt, and then you could shoot the dog.
Yep.
Sorry. All right, you got a trophy.
My trophy, my first trophy, is called the Quack Trophy. And the Quack Trophy is for those that stood close to the screen and got their perfect scores. So you get the quack trophy. Even though you got a perfect score, it's like stealing candy from a baby.
Yeah.
And you're a quack.
So you're calling him a quack.
I'm calling him a quack. So, the quack trophy.
All right. Let's see. I want to say. I didn't think of another one, by the way. I'm thinking of
Tom Arnold would be impressed with our delays and thinking. Awkward silences make for great podcasts.
All right. This one's called the Tom Arnold.
Oh,
It's getting 10 perfect scores on clay shooting in a row. Because I feel like Tom Arnold is quite the crack shot at shooting clay pigeons.
He would be impressed. He would certainly be impressed.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now, even better. The trophy's called Tom Arnold would be impressed. And that is shooting 10 perfect score rounds at clay pigeons. From at least 6 feet away. 5 to 6 feet away.
Right. All right. Sweet. I don't have any more either. I just have
Okay,
one,
that's good.
So.
Okay, and our final segment is we're going to give the game some sort of a ranking or rating or grade or something, but it's not going to be cut and dry like you should play this game or you should not play this game. We're actually going to, well, for this game, I guess we'll do, let's do a waterfowl ranking. All right? So I'll go first. I'm going to give this game a mallard. A male mallard, to be more specific, because the mallard is a very distinctive bird. You think of, when you think of the mallard, you think instantly of the green-headed duck, right? Mm. So when somebody says duck hunt to you, you're going to instantly think of the game Duck Hunt. You know exactly what duck hunt is because it's such an iconic game, and so is the majestic male mallard. And that's what I get. That's what I get this game.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go with Swan.
Okay.
Swan, yeah.
Swan. The ugly duckling story would... anyways. So give us your reasoning for...
So it's
well, because the ugly duckling turns into Swan, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I just think it's a beautiful game. It's, it started out probably as an ugly duckling. Kind of just pack in, throw it in with Mario Brothers, and
it turned into a beautiful swan.
It turned into a beautiful swan. I don't think the duck's happy about the swan.
Well,
I don't know if the swans and ducks get along.
No, have you not ever seen them out in parks and stuff? They fight over the bread, and it's just Well, and I don't want to throw a wrench into this, but geese.
Oh, yeah. We're not even going to talk about geese.
Maybe we shouldn't bring geese in at the beginning of, or at the end of the podcast.
What are you going to do with that duck, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't think about that.
You gonna eat him?
I don't think I'm going to eat it. Well, maybe I will.
No, he didn't like that.
Okay. I'll probably just take him to the park. That's where I got him. I just swung by the park this morning and grabbed a duck.
Yeah.
I'll just take him back. I said, hey, Ducky, you want to go be on a podcast?
I'm fairly certain that some of those ducks that you go to the park and feed would probably get to your car. You have like a piece of bread.
Well, yeah, I did like a Hansel and Gretel thing where I led a bread trail to my car, and he just jumped right in.
But you'd probably get a goose that would just jump in too. You gotta beat the goose back. Now.
Yeah, well. So. All right, I guess we should probably end the show. I gotta go clean some poop out of my car.
What do we want to do? Feedback?
Oh, yeah, we got feedback.
Yeah. Feedback.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with first up, Rob McCallum gave us some feedback. He says he only uses the gray zapper. It shoots much straighter than the orange counterpart. The orange zapper is the Tom Arnold of light zapper technology. What?
Yes.
No, Tom Arnold's a good guy. We want to get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tom Arnold would definitely be the gray zapper. Rob.
Come on, Rob.
We're trying to get him on the show, okay? We don't need to be calling him the orange zapper. He's definitely the gray zapper.
If Tom Arnold's impressed, that's a good thing, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go with Eric Purcell. And by the way, Eric has tried to correct us. I guess I've been saying his name wrong. I feel like I was saying it right. I was just adding maybe a question mark at the end. But he says to pronounce his name, his last name is pronounced Per, like the cat, then add the word cell. So it's Purcell or Purcell.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Exactly.
I had to do it. Anyways, he says he's just talking about Zapper games in general, which is fine. He says Hogan's Alley was great. Gotcha was another good one. It was like playing Capture the Flag paintball at summer camp. And he said Duck Hunt was cool except for that infernal dog. Man's best friend, my butt.
Yeah.
So, Chadwick Hall says the Zapper is probably my favorite peripheral ever.
Yeah.
He loves Hogan's Alley as well. See, that's the one I was talking about. I love Hogan's Alley is a really good Zapper game. I hope we talk about that one soon.
Well, and that's another thing about the Zapper. We'll talk about the Zapper more, too, because there's a ton of other games.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aaron Hickman says, I love the clicking sound of the Zapper. He had both colors growing up and felt futuristic. Did anyone remember the Zapper Duck Hunt cameo in Boys in the Hood? I do not.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, actually.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we need to watch that movie. He says he loves most of the light gun games. His favorites are Freedom Force and Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
And then one last bit of feedback. Emmanuel Ozoria says, nice.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
We like the one-word feedback.
Nice.
All right, Justin. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say one more thing about feedback. There was something else that was put on. I think you answered his question on Facebook, but I think maybe some of our listeners who don't check our Facebook out a lot may be thinking about this. And I think we need to kind of give a shout out on the show about it because it's a good cause.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron Hickman last, I think it was yesterday actually, asked if we had a PayPal donate link on our site. A lot of podcasts do that to try to raise money for what they do. We don't do that right now. We're just doing it for the love of the game. Not to say touche.
Not to say we won't ever do that, but for now.
Yeah, we may do that. We may do that one day, especially if we want to buy more equipment so it doesn't sound like we're podcasting from the bottom of a barrel going over the Niagara Falls. But, that may be something we look at in the future. But as of right now, we're not taking donations. We appreciate it. If you have some money just burning a hole in your pocket that you gotta give to the two dudes, we are actually a part of a charity right now called Extra Life Charity Account. I'm going to let Mike explain that because he knows a little bit more about it. And so if you've got some money, that's a good cause. And Mike, you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so the Extra Life charity event, what it is we're part of the Retro Junkies Network, as some of you may know, some of you may not. But the Retro Junkies Network is full of great podcasts. We're doing a charity event together called the Extra Life charity event. What it is for those of you that don't already know, it's a 24-hour gaming event where on October 26th we will be playing video games for 24 hours straight. And so what we're doing is we're taking donations, and all proceeds are going to children's hospitals in our area. Mm-hmm. So each podcast will be taking a block on the. We haven't worked out all the details yet because it's so far in the future. But I think basically what's going to happen is each podcast is going to take a block. They're going to try to stream in some way themselves playing the game, and then at that point, that's when we'll play for 24 hours, and that's when the donations will go through. And so, but we're trying to build donations now. We haven't really been pushing it that hard because it's so early on. But if you want to donate, you can go to extra-life.org. Maybe just search Extra Life, and then if you can want to find us within there, you can go up to the upper right, and there's a search for participant. Block or something, you can go in there and you can search for us. Or if you like one of the other Retro Junkies shows better, which I doubt. I mean, come on. Sorry, guys. Just kidding. Then you can send your money to them, or you can just donate to all of us. I mean, it's a good cause. Just donate like $5 to all of us or something. That'd be good.
Yeah. Also, just to kind of throw out there one more thing. For those of you who don't know, many of you probably do, me and Mike are also involved in another podcast. Actually, the father podcast to this podcast, I would say.
It's
called the Retro Thought Pod.
Podcast.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Come check us out over there. We're pretty much on every episode. One of us is, and got some other guys in there that's really funny. And,
our next episode is going to be really
there.
cool too. So I don't know when you're listening to this. The next episode may not be what you're hearing, but if you're listening to us on time, our next episode at Retro Thought Pod is going to be really cool. It's going to be a retro video game draft, much in the same way that the NFL draft is done. But we're all going to be drafting teams of games, and the listeners have provided us the games to choose from, and it's going to be really cool. So check that out.
So check us out over there.
And
right,
find us on Facebook and stuff. Just go on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus, and find the two dudes. We post interesting stuff all the time, and you'd love to be a part of it if you just join us up. So.
And also, don't forget, we love, the downloads are going up, and we love the support we're getting from you guys. If you don't care, take a minute, or not even a minute. That won't even take you a minute, just to give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
On iTunes.
Well, you can give us an honest rating if you want to, but 5 stars probably your honest rating, right?
I think that is an honest rating. Yeah. So throw us a rating on there. Maybe even review if you got a couple of minutes, and help push this thing along.
Yep, and tell your friends.
Yes.
Anything else? Because I feel like we just keep on and keep on.
We keep throwing stuff in there. No, I think we're good now.
Justin, what are you going to do the rest of the day today? Now that we're done with the podcast.
Oh, I've got a lot of homework to do.
Yeah. I'm probably going to try to get some breakfast because it's about 8:45 and I'm about 45 minutes late on breakfast.
Okay.
Maybe some biscuits and gravy.
All right.
Oh, the next game.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what the next game is. We don't know what the next game is. We're going to play a sound of some sort. Hey, actually... Okay, one more.
Okay, most listeners have stopped listening 5 minutes ago, but go ahead.
Well, this one actually, hopefully this listener that I'm about to call out has not stopped listening. But William Culver over from the Arcade USA and ColecoVision's podcast, he actually donated a bunch of games to me. So I think we should play one of his games next week. So I'll talk with you after the show about it. But thank you, William. That was awesome of you to do. And we will play one of your games that you donated to me next week.
Awesome.
See y'all.
See ya.